Hi, I'm Danielle. Welcome to my perfume journal. In this video, I am sharing 3 perfumes that I regret decluttering and 3 perfumes that I decluttered but I don't miss. So, regrets. I've had a few. When I use the word regret, what I mean is that once in a while I think to myself, I really wish I could wear that perfume today. So all 3 of these perfumes are still widely available, so I could repurchase them if I wanted to. My real regrets, though, are the unicorn perfumes I missed out on before they were discontinued. Those are the ones I really kicked myself about. But for now, here are 3 perfumes I moved along, but I probably should have hung on to. So the first one is Fancy by Jessica Simpson. It really wasn't until I discovered the online community that I got into celebrity perfumes. They were mostly off my radar for the majority of my time as a perfume enthusiast, but it was my wonderful friend Victoria, who I've mentioned before here, she is Sent Memos on Instagram, who introduced me to celebrity perfumes, and she said, Danielle, I think you would really love Fancy. So I blind bought it. She was 100% right. I loved it. Fancy is this delicious flormand with apricot and pear and almond and caramel and vanilla, all surrounding the white floral core of gardenia and jasmine. It doesn't smell like Burberry Brit, but I'd almost call this like Burberry Brit's favorite niece, the one she takes to New York City every year in December for a shopping spree and the Rockettes Christmas show. I ended up giving this one away to a friend because she absolutely loved it, but I do miss it and I will probably repurchase this one at some point. So another sweetie that I decluttered is Amor from Cacharel. This is a citrusy, fresh, fruity flormand created in part by Dominique Ropillon. There is this huge fruit burst in the opening of this perfume from the citrus and some blackcurrant, and then it becomes very floral vanillic for the remainder of the wear. There's lots and lots of vanilla in this one with rose and jasmine and some sweet syrupy stone fruit. This is like a perfumey fruit tart. I love Cacharel fragrances so much, and even though this is not my very favorite offering from them, I did declutter it after all. Every once in a while I get the urge to wear this again, and I kind of miss it. It is just a fun, fruity flormand, and some days just call for fun fragrances. So a couple of years ago, I got a bottle of Red from Giorgio Beverly Hills, and I ended up returning it because I didn't think I was going to wear it. Well, that was a big mistake because the current formulation of Red is really pretty good, and it's a vintage perfume that I think holds up. So Red is a late 80s perfume concoction with a kitchen sink note list. It was created by Bob Aliano, the same perfumer who did the original Giorgio Beverly Hills. And I always say that vintage perfumes like this are very, very hard to describe as notes. I mean, they have 10,000 notes in the note pyramid. So instead, you have to really talk about how these perfumes feel, what images they evoke to describe what they're like. And I think it's also really hard to compare these kinds of vintage perfumes with other perfumes because with so few perfume releases back in the day, everything was so unique and different to the other perfumes that were being released at the same time. So essentially, Red is a spicy floral chypre. The big perfumes of the 80s can probably be best described by color, like Giorgio and Isatis are very, very yellow and very golden. Nikki de Saint Phalle, Lauren, and Liz Claiborne, they are very, very green. Opium and Cinnabar are bronze, coppery perfumes. And perfumes like White Linen and Rive Gauche that have tons of aldehydes are very white, even almost silvery. And Red is very, very, very red. It gets its redness from very red materials. There's rose, cherry, carnation, and then the redness is deepened by amber and tonka and patchouli. It's kind of like the texture of red taffeta fabric when it opens, and then red velvet when it dries down. It is the most completely red perfume I think I have ever smelled on multiple levels. Not red like a single rose or a cherry or a carnation, but like all of the red scents in the world thrown into a blender and whizzed up into one perfectly red result. I'm really sorry that I sent this one back, so this one is definitely going back on the repurchase list. So now let's get on to the perfumes that I decluttered, but I do not have that feeling of, I wish I could spritz this on today. So the first perfume I decluttered and I do not miss is Gris Charnel from BDK. Now, I do like Gris Charnel. I bought this perfume at the absolute height of its hype, and I thought, yeah, this is a good scent. I can see why this gets a lot of attention. And it has a lot of what I love in a scent. It's fig and cardamom and orris and sandalwood. But the thing about Gris Charnel that led me to move it along is the tea note. There is something about tea notes in many, many perfumes, but not all, but many that give me a headache. It also happens when I over steep a bag of tea and it turns kind of bitter. You know what I mean? Like how that can happen when you're making a cup of black tea. So this is exactly what happens to me in drinking tea and wearing tea forward perfumes. So I much prefer the combination of fig and cardamom and sandalwood in other scents like Crystal Noir from Versace. Take out the tea and give me some white florals. So for that reason, I am not bothered that Gris Charnel has left the building. So next is Bonbon from Viktor and Rolf. So I got Bonbon for an absolute steal when I was really feeling the sweeties, and especially really perfumey sweeties. So Bonbon is peach and caramel, lots and lots and lots of caramel, and jasmine and a woody amber base. The bottle is super, super fun, and the perfume smells really great, but this is an example of the kinds of perfumes that I have a moment with. I enjoy them for a time, and then they kind of lose their novelty for me, and it's time to move them along. And I would love to know if you have the same kind of experience with perfumes, you know exactly what your style is as a perfume enthusiast. The perfumes that will always be kind of like timeless classics for you because they just feel like you. They feel like part of your identity or your personality. But every once in a while, you like to dabble in a different style and enjoy it for a time. Kind of like hairstyles. I've worn my hair in different styles, different colors. I've even permed it. But at the end of the day, I know exactly how my hair best suits me, and I usually go back to that look again and again and again. So Bonbon was kind of like my fragrance perm. I enjoyed it for a time. I wore it until I wasn't really feeling it anymore, and then I moved it along to someone who would enjoy it a lot more. And finally, it's Vanilla Sky from Skylar. So I chose this one as the final perfume for this video because this is an example of a perfume that I decluttered because I learned that a particular brand just doesn't work for me personally. This has happened to me with a few brands, and that's just fine. I have smelled some of the perfumes on other people. I think they smell great, but on me, there's just something about the materials or the ingredients or the captives that they use that don't agree with my skin or my taste or whatever. That said, it is rare that I will actually write off a perfume brand completely, and I will always be open to trying something from them that I haven't smelled before if I have the chance, because you never know. But generally, I think after being a perfume enthusiast for a long, long time, I kind of know what brands I vibe with and what brands I don't. So Vanilla Sky is a coffee-forward vanilla that smells very, very much like the froth on top of a cappuccino. It's very, very sweet. It has a soft creaminess and a bit of spice. It is most definitely one of those perfumes that I know I would enjoy smelling on someone else, But for me, it was just a bit too much and it made me feel a little bit queasy. So there we are, 3 perfumes that I regret decluttering and 3 perfumes that I don't miss at all. So what about you? Do you have any declutter regrets or any perfumes that you don't really miss much anymore? I would love to hear about your experiences with decluttering. So thank you so much for watching, for spending your time here with me, and for chatting perfumes with me in the comments. I hope you have a great day, a great smelling day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.